Corporations have been trying to privatize California's water for years. However, something new is in place this year, and that is that the government is actively organizing a large-scale statewide privatization initiative for the battle. Of course, it's not written by the government, but it's certainly being pushed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor. This is what's called the Safe, Clean, Reliable Water Safety Act. The act proposes that California sell bonds of $11.4 billion. This money in turn will be spent at the rate of $800 million a year for 30 years to subsidize the profits of corporations that deal with water, from its collection, its transportation, its use, and every phase of how water is organized and used. The law authorizes what are called joint powers authorities. These are entities which control water in various locales, but organizations can participate in these which are not local. So, for example, international corporations can participate in these entities along with the current public state water boards and things like this. The law is written that states that the entities own, govern, and operate a surface storage project, unquote. This means that they will control how that water is used, where it goes, and how it is sold. In California, water is now a marketable commodity, just like hog futures or mortgages were our markets, and maybe we can edit this part out. I'll just stop right there and continue. In California, water is, we'll try it again. California has a water market where water futures, in fact, paper water, can be owned, traded, bought, and sold, and the joint powers authorities will have the ability to do that. The poster child for this particular situation is the Kern Water Bank. The Kern Water Bank is at the southern end of the Central Valley on the west side of the valley, which is a pretty parched area. It was originally built by $77 million of public money, and it's a vast underground storage location for water. While there are a number of public and private partnerships that work together with the Kern Water Bank, in fact, it's really run by Westside Mutual Water Company, which owns 48% of the shares. The Westside Mutual Water Company is owned by Stuart Resnick, who resides in Beverly Hills and who likes to paint himself as a small farmer, someone who is the backbone of America. In fact, Resnick owns Paramount Farms, which is the largest grower of pistachios and almonds in the world, and is the largest farm corporation in the United States. Resnick also owns Fiji Water, which is the largest imported water company in the United States. So Resnick is not really a small farmer at all. In fact, they're in the Central Valley where industrial agriculture is well organized. There are practically no small farmers anyway. But what he is a water broker. Once the water enters the Kern Water Bank, it is no longer a public resource. It is a private commodity which can be bought and sold and maneuvered, traded in any way to benefit the corporations that control the bank. For example, since from 2000 to 2007, the state of California shipped the water into the Kern Water Bank and then bought it back for $200 million. Resnick's corporations took 20 cents on the dollar for this and made a $40 million profit. This is what privatization of water is coming to mean, and this is what's going to be on the ballot in November. Whether California voters are fooled by this or not remains to be seen, but we can be certain about one thing, that this is just the beginning of water privatization efforts and not the end. Americans really need to decide whether we actually feel that corporations should be the powers that control our natural resources. And if not, we need to decide whether or not the government should be of by and for the people, or they should be aiding and abetting corporations, because the job of government is to benefit the public and to guarantee that the public has clean and fresh water, rather than setting the whole situation up and configuring it to the benefit of corporations.